since 1969. I will let you know that that is the same year that Suffolk County executives Steve Malone was born. Okay, in the 1970s, he was the top retail producer at C&W. As Paul states, I wasn't that good, they were all just that bad. Today, he finds locations for restaurants, retail, buys and sells existing businesses and chains, works with design of shopping, environments, concept design, development of emerging food service operations, et cetera, et cetera. In 2015, he did the largest restaurant deal in Manhattan and also did the largest restaurant deal in Brooklyn. He was the LIBOR Commercial Real Estate Broker of the Year. He was the founder of the Long Island Marathon and still runs. He has slowed down a bit, enough to join us today. Paul.
Good afternoon. Hurry's going to get me back up here. By the way, I want to recognize this event is being put on not only by the New York State Commercial Association of Realtors, it's also done in conjunction with the Long Island Commercial Network. Let's have a big hand for the president, Ira Zucker. Thanks so much. Mushrooms, that's what a lot of politicians do, just keep us in the dark and feed us stuff that'll help us grow, right? Any moment now, we're going to be up here, and I'm going to be talking a little bit. You've heard me talk in the past about restaurants. Well, today I'm going to get a much larger scope. If you want to know what's happening on Long Island, because this is the state of the island, if you want to talk about what's happening on Long Island, okay, stuff's going to happen in Hempstead, stuff's going to happen over there at the Coliseum. Got it? Great. Now we can move on to other things. That's me. And you've heard enough from me about dining, so we're going to move on to other things. We're going to talk about shopping. And is that a couple of girls going to the mall? Or is that somebody sitting at their computer trying to figure out what it's all about? So today the strategy seems to be bricks and clicks. What we're going to try to do is help simplify some of that today. Black Friday, biggest shopping day of the year, right? Everybody goes out there. It's a heck of a crowd out there at Roosevelt Field. So you're fighting Black Friday or Cyber Monday. The store. Is it the store as the computer, or is it the store of the store? Black Friday. This year, more people shopped online than ever before. However, on Black Friday, more people shopped online than shopped in stores. So, now we've got this contest of Black Friday versus Cyber Monday. Biggest retail day of the year. And we had sales of about $2.9 billion in one day. Now, Alibaba, based in Asia, on Singles Day, in 24 hours, did $9 billion in business. We are way behind. Foot traffic is down in our centers. Whether you see it or not, prices may go up. Stores are shrinking. Why? They don't have to keep everything in stock. If you don't have it in stock, you'll have it in a day or two, no problem. For an extra fee, you can have it in 24 hours. We have to look at the shopper, where the shopper's going, what he's doing, because frankly, since 2007, the rules have changed. Let's look at some of those retailers here, the major retailers. Let's look at Walmart. Walmart's out there, still growing. They decided to get into the food service business. Within 5 years, they became the largest supermarket chain in America. They sell more than anything else, but their growth isn't only in America. They are opening 117 new stores in China between this year and next year. Let's look at the revenue stream of Walmart alone. Walmart has more sales than Apple, GM, and Costco combined. It's been mentioned only once today did I hear the word millennials. Well, mark your watch, we're March. In 6 months, not that somebody's going to flip a switch, but in 6 months, August of this year, the millennials will become a larger buying group than the baby boomers. So the question is, how are they spending their money? Very interesting. The millennials are spending more money on food and dining than they are on clothing, accessories, video games, or anything else. Who's one of the leaders there? Certainly Starbucks. You know that. Where are they? Oh, they got a footprint in a couple places here and there. Per square foot, where are their biggest producers? In Japan. And their transactions, 16% of all their transactions as of a year ago were 16%. Today it's over 20%. Let's look at their mobile payments. Starbucks mobile payments volume in US dollars in the first quarter of 2012 was $145 million. Then in 2013, in the first quarter, 207, then 244, 272, 340, and that has continued to grow till today. It's almost $600 million in sales. Starbucks, by the way, spends more money on perks, health care, child care, allowing you to go to college and get subsidies from them. They spend more money on employee perks than they do on coffee beans. I don't look at them as a food service merchant. They're a lifestyle merchant. Let's talk about some other people who have done a great job in brand name extension. If you say Virgin, what do you think? You think of this daring, flashing guy, Richard Branson, doing all sorts of things around the world. Well, what's he been able to do with that Virgin brand? He has taken Virgin Records, where at one point, one store he had in Paris had 7% of the entire market share of all music sold throughout the entire country of France. One store, 7% national market share. But he's taken that, and today you walk in a Virgin store, and it's like a mini Best Buy. However, he's taken that brand name. I'm flying out to Las Vegas this year for the International Council of Shopping Centers, and I'm going out on Virgin. But he's gone to so many other things, all of that in brand name extension. Let's talk about the world's largest store. Let's talk about connecting the world. Let's talk about organizing the Earth's information and technology products. Why? Because they all apply to retail. World's largest store today, Amazon. Connecting the world, Facebook. Organizing the Earth's information certainly is Google, and Apple's technology products. So if you look at these all had very distinct beginnings. They were all off in different quarters. Apple sold hardware, right? That's all they did. Or are they a technology company, or are they selling software? So what has happened in mobile apps and the like? Let's look at that really desirable 18 to 35 demographic. What's number one in each of those categories? Facebook, in terms of engagement. Today it's all about relationships. 35 to 54. Once again, Facebook is number one. But if you're over 55, Facebook is number one. They have become the McDonald's of your computer screen. U.S. e-commerce grew by 30% just in the first quarter of 2014. That grew faster than Amazon, which had a 22% growth spurt during the same time. So the question is, who gets to play in that sandbox? Very simply, it's the disruptors. It's the ones who swim against the tide. Now, when I started in commercial real estate, let's talk about film. Anybody remember film? Good, I remember that. Okay. With film, what you do is you take it down to your family, to your local drugstore. You drop off your film, you can come back and pick it up a week later. But along came the disruptor. That was Photomat. That's how I got my start, selecting sites and negotiating deals with this funny little yellow booth that set out. My first year in the business, I had 55 signed deals. I haven't beaten that since. And it totaled almost 2,000 square feet. Along came a disruptor called 1 hour photo. Well, geez, Photomat would do it overnight. 1 hour photo did it in about an hour and a half, usually. But they had that. How long was Polaroid? And the Polaroid will give it to you within a minute. But how many people have a good Canon camera that will give it to you in 3 seconds? And as if that isn't fast enough, today we have the tools, and with the right tools, everybody's a photographer. Let's take a look at Amazon a little further. And what Amazon does in terms of their sales. Amazon has a $13.7 billion market capitalization. How many people have ever been in an Amazon store? One? One. All right. The tradition of even Amazon remaining as a single channel supplier is archaic. It's not going to happen. We'll tell you why. Amazon and the Seven Dwarfs, if you look at the largest share of online sales, Amazon does more than the next 10 retailers put together. Amazon has a 42.7% market share. The next 10 people combined come up to about 25% of total online sales. In Europe, same story. Amazon, number one, 20% market share. And the next 10, 8, 11, 2.2%, 8%. That's all there is. It's all about sourcing your goods. How many people have a closet that looks like this? Well, actually, they're a little better organized than that. But it's a pick and pack and a low labor cost to get this done. But they weren't the first ones ever to put together a large warehouse. Shipping fees. Amazon did something very, very clever here. They were the first ones to say, you do this, get you to reach a little further, and what you're going to get is we're going to give you free shipping. How many times you put something in the basket? The majority of baskets do not go to checkout of everything that's done online. And very often it's the, oh gee, now I added the sales tax, I added the shipping, now I'm out of here. So what Amazon did, if you're a low volume purchaser, you'll pay for the shipping, but if you buy this much more, Joseph A. Bank, buy $100, free shipping. Oh gee, what else do I need? I need another 20 bucks in my basket? Boom, you'll do something just to get that free shipping. So they hold that carrot out there for you. Amazon had shipping fees, received shipping fees of $3.1 billion last year. However, their transportation costs were $6.6 billion. But what have they done? They have forced everyone else to get into that game. So if you look at 2013 in U.S. commerce, how much was 44% was bought with free shipping. Within 1 year, that went to 68% for free shipping. Now, how much money does Amazon make? Not a lot. Of course, they're plowing it back in to buy market share, to buy footprint, to get to the place where everybody needs to be. So that what they've done in their net shipping costs, look at how much they have gone up from 25 to 2015. In all but 2 years since they launched Amazon Prime, they increased more than 25%. How many people are members of Costco? Their entire profit is membership fees. Everything else is a wash. But if you're guaranteed $25 profit from you, $25 profit from you, $25 profit from you, times 100 million members, you are definitely going to be a profitable company. Let's look at Google and what they know, because after all, Google's looking at you. There are parameters with over 350 data points on each and every one of us. Because if we go into Amazon, don't you think Google is mining that information to learn a little about what matters to you? Isn't it strange that if you happen to spend a little time on, let's say, Joseph A. Bank, next time I'm on a totally unrelated site, up on the side comes little things about, hey, there's a sale today at Joseph A. Bank, why don't you log on there? Google knows about those 350 data points. They know you about your values, attitudes, and lifestyle. They know about the tapestry and mosaic and your methods of thinking. Every time you do a search, they're searching you. And everything they can do from there is take the entire alphabet and now take you out to other things that they own, control, or have joint ventures with to mine that information. What matters to you? What matters to you? Those are important things. If I look at that, Google now has gone out into other matters, other names and brand name extension of their names as well. All of this designed simply to target the consumer. Let's look at a small company called Apple out in California. One of the things they do is tremendously simplify ordering on their site. It's the idea of the one-click ordering, and you can get that too. So let's look at Apple Store versus everyone else. It's a one-touch pay. It's an on or off for gifting. Livestock status, you see if it's there or not. Compared to one of the nation's most productive retailers, Tiffany. And look at what you have to go through in there. In-store pickup, limited, is stock there or not? They haven't checked that yet because you're still on the first screen. You got to go to the second screen, third screen in order to figure it out. Apple decided to get into the watch business. All right? With the watch business, what did Geneva say? No, you still got to have the prestigious watch. People are going to go for that. They're not going to buy this little piece of plastic. Right. What did Wall Street say? Well, Wall Street took a look at it. First year in business, Apple is the largest watchmaker in the world. What do? They go to retail. They now have points of distribution that many of the other players don't have, especially Amazon, which is why Amazon has to move into the points of distribution for instant gratification. Here's a little store they put together. Recognize this out in front of the GM building. This store alone will do not 100 million, not 200 million, not 300 million, not 400 million. This one store will have sales, had sales last year of $500 million, $500 million out of one store. That's the majority of sales out of Roosevelt Field. And 5,000 square feet. The Apple Store in Roosevelt Field outgrossed the Nordstrom's. High value, small mass, something really matters. So, how do you shop? You can buy from your Dick Tracy watch, no question about it. You gotta wonder, where does the computer end and not? Circuit City, what was that? That was the Amazon showroom. How many people here, when you last time you bought electronics, went online first to take, certainly, and then you do your shopping, you do your education there. You want the instant gratification that's out there. Last time I bought a camera, I found out how much it was going to cost. Gee, I have to pay shipping, or for $2 more, I can walk over to B&H Photo and have it today. What do? It's the instant gratification. Go back to Cy Sims. An educated consumer is a most important problem. And when you look at these companies, that are the disruptors, that are the rule breakers, where does that go? In 2015, if you look at the market capitalization of Amazon, they had a 52% growth in 3 years in their market cap. Apple, 36% growth. Facebook had a 68% growth in 3 years, and Google, 40% growth over 3 years. So let's take this market cap and put it together. And what does that compare to? The market cap of those 4 companies alone is greater than the gross domestic product of all of South Korea. That was in 2014. Gee, any room for growth? Well, by 2015, the market cap was almost $1.6 trillion. That is more than the gross domestic product of Australia or Spain, and certainly South Korea that does. But let's go a little further. Let's go to 2016. What's it worth today? Amazon plus Apple plus Facebook plus Google, it's worth more than the entire gross domestic project. Domestic. Thank you. Of Canada. There we go. So, if I look at Amazon, you got 310 employees, which is roughly equivalent to the population of Lexington, Kentucky. So imagine the population of Lexington, Kentucky, a beautiful bluegrass city, and known certainly for the Hamiltonian and other wonderful races that take place there. Burger Girl. Those people having the entire productivity and market value of all of Canada and an average market cap of employee of almost $10 million per employee. The highest GDP per capita anywhere in the world is Monaco at 163,000. These these four companies' market cap? 10 million. Let's look at return on human capital. How many people do I need to have in order to have $10 million in revenue? Look at the major companies that are on major European firms on the right-hand side. How many they have? Very, very productive companies. 70, 46, 78 employees in order to have $10 million in revenue. Facebook needs 6. Google needs 8. Oh, wait. Apple needs 5. Samsung needs 94, Hewlett-Packard 112, Microsoft needs 15. All of this just to get to $10 million in revenue, 5 employees. It's a lot of information here, but the question is, how do I use it? Click and collect. How many people have looked online, bought something online, but said, I'll pick it up at the store? I did it last week at Best Buy. I decided to do that. Great. Ace Hardware, 65% of all their online purchases are picked up at the store. Walmart, half of them are picked up at the store. Let's look at a company like Staples. Staples now is closing stores and building smaller stores. Why? Over 40% of all their gross sales have migrated to the web. Point, click, delivered to my office, thank you very much. Best Buy, 45% picked up in the store. Enough that when you walk into Best Buy today, they have a nice chunk, about as large as our little kitchen area over there. Then that is just to pick up things that were ordered online. So if you're playing offense, let's go play offense. The top 10 fastest growing e-commerce retailers, Dick's Sporting Goods, 65% growth. AutoZone, 59%. Costco, 48%. All of these online. Tremendous shifts. Even very large players, like 31% growth in Macy's and 30% in Nordstrom. Not what you would expect. So as the rise today is click and collect. I can click it, next time I'm moving by Roosevelt Field, I'll drop into the Best Buy, I'll drop into Costco, I'll drop into whatever, and pick it up. So, once again, the U.S. is lagging. What percent of the customers in the United States have used click and collect? In the United States, 12% last year, grown in 2014 to 19%. But France is at 60%, United Kingdom at 57%. There are significant shifting tides that are taking place. What has this meant for a big box retailer like Macy's, fashion retailer? Look at the number of stores that they've closed over the last couple of years. But while they've closed those, they've also opened out in Tulsa a 1.5 million square foot distribution center in order to satisfy the needs of the online customers. Another one in Miami, another one in Ponce, Puerto Rico, another one in Hawaii. You have to look at the innovators and what they're doing differently. Rent the runway. Customers tend to place larger orders with that than online, almost twice what they do in the stores. Warby Parker storefronts sell $3,000 per square foot. Second place in the retailer. Warby Parker, you see they sell eyeglasses, they sell them online, they sell them in the store. The line is tremendously blurred. The store drives visits to the online because with the online, you've got that many more choices. If you walk into a typical Gap store, they'll have 10,000 SKUs. If you go online, they'll have 50,000 SKUs. But here's where it comes to risk reversal to make it really, really good for the consumer. If you buy something online, you don't like it or it doesn't fit, you can bring it back to the store, even if the store doesn't carry it. I gotta tell you, I'm lazy, I'm busy, but I'm lazy to a certain degree. I can't remember the last time I took a box, wrapped up something, put it there, made out a label, went to the post office, mailed it back. It's like, yeah, but if I can take it back to the store, I am far more likely to buy that item. And that ability to buy with the clicks, return to the bricks, that convenience is given to the consumer, has worked out tremendously in order to raise the penetration rate and raise the productivity. Number one in sales per square foot, Apple. Number two, Warby Parker. Number three, Tiffany. Let's go to a real disruptor here. Uber. All right? How many people here have Uber accounts? Got those? What a joy. Now, cabs as we know them. The last thing I want to do today is go out and buy a taxi cab. Simple as that. Uber, this year, will give 1 million rides. Chicago Transit Authority, today, will give 1 million rides. When I got off the plane in Dubai about 18 months ago in order to give a speech over there, there's a guy holding up my name. Great. On the flip side, Uber in Dubai. They also have it in Abu Dhabi, so you don't have to worry. 1 million rides a day. Chicago Transit Authority, 650,000 rides. Boston T gives you 480. The MTA in New York has 5,600,000 rides per day. Uber's in second place. Let's look at the number of employees. Uber has 162,000 people out there executing and fulfilling the needs, compared to 80,000 for Delta, 68,000 for the Metropolitan Transit Authority, and 216,000 employees for GM around the world. Uber has 162,000. Do you know what that is? That's the world's largest on-call workforce. They make the capital investment. There are no uniforms. They're only paid when they're productive. They have no ability to strike, and they have flex time. So if I can call on somebody like that, can I move forward now and have them start to deliver meals to go? All sorts of delivery services. Years ago, I had the opportunity to meet and spend some time with a very interesting gentleman by the name of Nolan Bushnell. You may know him from that. You may know him from Pizza Time Theaters. You may know him from Atari. You may know him from every one of his ventures. He had realized that all of the things where if you don't buy it today, tomorrow it'll be less, because we're going to, number one, drive more volume, drive more efficiency, and lower the cost per unit of what was produced. He made a deal with the city of LA that they didn't take him up on. He was going to give them $100 million for the right to build the monorail system. This would be totally automated. The largest cost in delivering goods is in the last mile. How do you get it from the 18-wheeler down to 2.5-ton truck to try to get it to somebody's front door? And the answer just might be Uber. So we're yet to see that integration, but this is something good happen with retail. I still have to go over to Roosevelt Field to find out what I'm going there. But if I can load up a car over there to an Uber driver who now is responsible for the car and the maintenance and the cleanliness and everything else of getting that over, how much could he do by being more efficient by working for multiple people, everything, all the deliveries going to the same zip code? This could work very, very well. Today, the relationship is very much about relationships. This is a line John Lennon would have loved, who once said that, and probably accurately so, that the Beatles more are popular than Jesus Christ. Catholic Church around the world has 1.1 billion people. Double it. Google has 2.2 billion people. Facebook has 3.6 billion people. How do you influence these people? The more you can learn about them, the more you find out what they need, the better off you're going to be to get them to the next level. So what's the takeaway here? It's pretty simple. What if we don't change at all and just wait for something magical to happen? Bottom line is the rules have changed. And those who figure out how to take advantage of it and how to leverage your personnel and human capital and your smartware, all of that, that's going to be the future of retail. Thanks so much. Now that we're here, Jack and I are
Prior to doing our raffle, because that next little something about panelists who are late, does anybody have any questions for those that are still here?
Great job.